Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to a very special reaction and review. And this is to the first episode, episode 1 or part 1 of MLP FiM, Season 9, The Beginning of the End. Now, I'm not going to feature both parts in one video because it would be freaking long with my overall review and afterthoughts, so I'm going to split them up and do two separate videos. But this is the start of the final season. So let's go ahead and begin. Part of me doesn't want to start this because I know once I start, it's starting the last leg of the journey, the final trek of this journey. But I also want to finish it, so let's just go ahead and delve into it. Start of the video. The beginning of the end, part 1. 1 and 3, 2, 1 click.
Oh, good. We're all here. So, every pony got an urgent summons to the castle with no explanation?
Yep.
I just love a good mysterious summons. What's it about? You think it's a surprise party? Hey, why are we running? Because something could be terribly wrong. Some pony turned bad, another evil creature back for revenge.
Don't you think you're being a little paranoid?
Why else would the princesses send scrolls in such a hurry? Good point. They'd know better than to make us worry. Plus, I like it when he runs so fast, the walls get all blurry.
Really?
Girls, thank you so much for coming.
What's wrong? What can we do?
That's just it. Nothing's wrong. Everything's perfect. Did y'all call us down here just to tell us that?
With all due respect, Majesties, you might want to save your urgent summons for matters that are a bit more, well, urgent.
Well, there is more to it. Equestria is currently enjoying its longest period of harmony in recent years.
And it's all thanks to you, Twilight. And your friends, of course.
Who, us? Oh, sure. It's about time you noticed. Thank you.
Because of your efforts, there's been less and less for us to do.
So, after much consideration, my sister and I have decided it is time for us to retire.
Huh?
Breaking news!
Discord.
The royal princess is retiring. I have so many questions. Who will take over? Who will run Equestria? Will it be someone tall, dark, and handsome? Or will it be the Lord of Chaos?
Ha!
Oh, fine. Go with the obvious choice.
Okay. Okay. Never expected to see Discord in the very first episode of the new season. And I see that the intro for... They didn't change the intro for the final season. Which I can understand. I do wish that it possibly had been the new rendition that we heard in the trailer, but at the same time, I hope they say that one for the final episode.
Retiring? Princesses can retire?
Of course we can. I, for one, am looking forward to a little R&R. Maybe a trip to Silver Shoals.
And you want me to take your place?
Mm-hmm. With the help of your friends, of course.
But
We can't think of any pony more worthy.
But
Over the years, we've watched you grow. You faced task after task.
Challenge after challenge.
Countless adversities. Yeah. We get it.
And you've always prevailed.
Thank you, but that doesn't mean that we're ready to do what you do.
Oh, of course you are. I realize this is a lot to take in, but...
Nope. Makes perfect sense. We're awesome. Does this mean we get all your powers? Ooh, I call dibs on showing up in every pony's dreams. You can't be ready to step into their horseshoes just like that.
Well, if
you
the
just want to make
princesses
Sword
think
and
it's
dream
time to
about
retire,
you.
We're not a bad choice. We always have Equestria's best interests at heart.
That's a fair point, which should be taken into consideration when we have a roundtable discussion.
Well, I'm in. Dumplings will all need a complete wardrobe update. And I would love to pick your brain about main maintenance when you have a moment.
As long as we all have each other, I'm sure we can do it. Protectors of Equestria on 3. 1, 2.
Everyone else is fired up
If
for
you're
it,
all
but
on board, I guess I am too.
Protectors of Equestria!
It'll be a bit of an adjustment, but I imagine the transfer of power will be a lengthy process, which will give
Actually, we just need a few days to put together a little ceremony.
a few days.
really?
But that's so soon. Shouldn't there be some sort of training program that lasts weeks, no, months, if not years?
Everything you've gone through over the years has been a training program.
Okay, but there's got to be a guide or a rule book.
Yes, I have it right here. How to Rule Equestria by No Pony Make Pretend Smith.
The friendship journal you wrote yourselves is a better guide than any we could provide.
But
We have the utmost confidence in you.
you're gonna cause the poor girl to have
Same
hyperventilate.
in yourself.
She's gonna faint. Breathe.
Oh, I'm absolutely certain she does.
I am not confident about this at all.
Well, that's what I thought. I was being sarcastic before. What? This is all so predictable. Now's the part where you all tell little Sparkle here that everything is going to be fine, but she won't believe you. Oh, I don't need to be here for this.
It's just, I know I said yes, but then they said in a few days, and there's still so much to figure out. It's all happening so fast. I think I need some. Okay, I'll feel much better.
Once you make a plan.
Oh, wow. It's like you
Knew you were going to react this way? We did.
Classic Twilighting.
Twilighting. You made me a verb?
It's not a bad thing. We just know you have a process.
Stage 1. You get big news and you're like, no! But then you pace and you chart, you worry. It's okay. You go ahead in Twilight and we'll be here for you.
You're all acting so calm, but this is a big deal. What do we do if something big happens and the princesses aren't there to help?
If you think about it, they literally almost never help.
Thank you!
And we still always win! Like
I
when
was-
Sombra almost took back the Crystal Empire, or when Chrysalis pretended to be Cadence, or when Kira came back and absorbed all the magic, or the other time Chrysalis tried to take over, or with Cozy Glow in the school! Am I missing anything? Pony of Shadows.
Starlight when she was evil.
Discord when he was evil?
Do Flim and Flam count?
Always done things without the princess's help. Which
Yeah,
makes
because they were never there.
Because it was
That's what I was gonna say. It won't matter if something did happen.
And it worked.
They weren't there before.
About it, there hasn't been a single villain that we couldn't defeat.
Phew.
Knock on wood. Chrysalis!
One day, you'll see. I
You're
will
back.
defeat Twilight Sparkle and her friends, and they will pay for stealing my kingdom.
Yep. I was right before. You're a little crazy.
T-Rex.
It is Lord Tirek. And what is it now?
I just want to make sure you can see my best friend's rock sculpture from over there.
That's actually really good crafting skills. Okay. Sombra? Who summoned them?
Lord Tirek,
A changeling? See? She gets it.
Chrysalis, Queen of the Changelings, or at least
Where
I
are we?
will be when I'm restored to my rightful place. Why did you summon me? What do you want?
Ah! Oh, golly. We didn't bring you. I thought you freed us from Tartarus.
Tartarus. Whoever pulled you from there must have been some pony very powerful indeed.
What? Sombra, how did you... Great intro.
Sombra, you have returned. Why did you bring us here?
He didn't.
Who the freak are you?
It was I. You may call me Grogar.
Grogar?
I thought that you were a legend.
I've heard of you.
Who?
I assure you, I am very real. And you have all been brought here as part of my plan to rid
Okay.
Equestria of Twilight, Sparkle, and
You're
her
unfamiliar with me.
friends. Once and for all.
Okay, first off, I'm unfamiliar with you. Were you like a My Little Pony movie or
I am so
villain or something?
sorry, but the name Grofar? It just doesn't
Grofar.
ring any bells.
Grogar!
At least it wasn't Grofart.
I have been away too long if my name no longer...
I'm sorry, dude, but
sinks
with
into
the
heart of
collar,
me
you look
so
like a reindeer.
tiny.
I'm sorry, you look like
Perhaps a
actually no, not. You look like a
demonstration of
reindeer.
power is in order?
Oh, it's magic. Okay. Oh, great. That's great.
Grogar is ancient and
Glow guys.
extremely powerful. The
Somebody
land
call him
of
Glowworm, okay?
Equestria was a mere collection of farms and pastures until he declared himself emperor of all he saw. I remember hearing tales of his tyranny when I was young.
I have also heard of the first Emperor of Equestria, the father of monsters. I gave life to the foulest of creatures and allowed them to run wild,
Already we've had more.
taking what they wanted and destroying the rest. My reign was a glorious, fear-soaked epoch of darkness in Equestria.
Until Gusty the Great rose up and banished you.
That fool believed taking my bell would defeat me, but she only weakened me temporarily.
T-Rick is really old. No offense, you look great. But if he knew about you when he was young, we have super different ideas about what temporarily means.
Silence!
That's
I've spent millennia gathering power, biding my time, waiting for the perfect opportunity to seize control of Equestria. And watching all of you, I've seen each of your humiliating defeats at the hooves
Actually,
of 6
Sombra's was the most
puny
humiliating.
ponies.
We've already had more dialogue
They
from him
always
just in a
best
short
of
amount of
you.
time than we ever did in
Because
his
they
debut.
cheat.
Because they are annoyingly lucky.
No.
I'm just a kid, so...
It is
Story writing.
because they work together. Where one is weak, another is strong, and thus unified, they are a formidable force.
Yeah, Sombra's
But
was like
we
the most.
shall use their own strategy to defeat them.
His was the
What
most
are
humiliating.
you suggesting?
I suggest nothing. I demand that you join me, and together Equestria will be ours.
I don't do ours. I only do mine. I will take back the Crystal Empire on my own, and I will destroy any pony who gets in my way.
Such confidence. Go! Try to take back your kingdom. I shall send you there myself. If you prevail, you may keep it. But when you fail, you will submit to me.
And if I refuse this deal?
Then I
Actually,
shall
that's a fair
return you to
deal.
the darkness from which you were summoned.
Fine. But this is a waste of time, as I will crush those who defy me. I will defeat all who get in my way.
Just shut up. Whee!
I advise the rest of you to prepare to work together.
Well, working together sounds an awful lot like making friends, so... You two are in luck, because I know all about that!
Twi, you in here?
I want to see these
School closed for the summer. I
these
didn't
villains
think
go on a
anyone
road
would
trip
be
together.
So much to do, not enough time? No! I already did that. Wait, no! I didn't! Oh, not enough time!
Help! She's spiraling! We're at the my plan needs a plan stage of a total Twilight meltdown!
Oh, got it. Twilight! Did I write down eliminate redundant lists on my School of Friendship to-do list or my personal to-do list? Twilight! Ah! Starlight! Oh, good, you're here! I need to talk to you.
Okay.
Hang on. I had talk to Starlight written down on one of these. Just let me find it so I can cross it off.
Wow, you are twilighting hard.
You say twilighting too? Well, excuse me! But this is the first time I've ever been asked to run a whole kingdom!
You're right. You're right. So, what did you want to talk to me about?
Ah, here it is. I wrote it down. Starlight, you have blossomed into one of the strongest, smartest, most caring ponies I know, and I can't think of any pony better to leave in charge of my castle and the School of Friendship, so what do you think?
What? You want me to take care of the castle and run the school?
Yes?
I can't. I'm not ready. Remember what happened the last time you left me in charge? And now you want me to do it permanently? What if I don't do the right things? What if...
Starlight, get a hold of yourself. You've risen to every challenge you've ever faced. You can do anything you put your mind to. You've got this.
She's acting.
And so do you. See what I did there? You just said everything you need to hear.
Ha ha ha, nice try. But running a school and running a country are two very different things. Now, if you don't mind, I have 7,432 more things to take care of before I become the new ruler of Equestria.
Twilight, calm down.
It was a valiant effort.
Oh boy. Oh, the Royal Guard! At least they're doing something. Never mind. Mind control helmets, okay.
The guard says Sombra's breached the castle.
Hurry, Twilight. We need you. Do you have Flurry Heart?
I thought you had her.
Oh!
Get away with this.
You never take off a mother.
Already have. With the crystal heart now in my possession, there is nothing to stop me from ruling the Crystal Empire. Kneel before Sombra. Long live the king.
Well, that was a mighty quick takeover.
Thanks for coming so quickly.
Sure thing. But if you're going to be the ruler of Equestria, you may want to work on your penmanship. This looks like it says Cadence sent an emergency message, Sombra's back, and he's taking over the Crystal Empire.
That's exactly what it says.
But how is that possible? I thought the Crystal Heart had dispelled him into the ether.
I have no idea. But he's back, and it's up to us to save the Empire and my family. Shouldn't some pony tell Celestia and Luna?
Ooh, good point.
They're retired.
One of us should probably loop in the real rulers of Equestria.
No. If we're going to run Equestria, we'll need to handle things like this on our own.
Oh, Twilight. Could this mean that you finally have the confidence to ascend to the throne like the princesses believe you can?
Maybe. Unless you'd consider taking care of Sombra for us?
Oh, no. You're absolutely right. You learn how to handle these things on your own.
Handling things on our own
Thanks.
sound good, but last time we defeated Sombra with the Crystal Heart. What if he has it already? How are we gonna stop him?
With the elements of harmony. With those, we can defeat any pony, even Sombra.
No. You didn't need the elements the last time you defeated Sombra. And I'm not sure that using them still counts as handling things on your own.
My family is in danger. I'm not taking any chances.
She's got a point.
Ugh, fine.
What's his problem? Starlight, can you stay here and take care of the school? I've got you covered.
Dang, the elements are back. Well, she tried.
Cute that you think that will do anything.
It might not, but they will.
Ha ha! She knew they were coming.
How can I be surprised when I'm waiting to show all of you your greatest fear?
Whoa!
Twilight, how disappointing. Equestria was in your care, and you let it be destroyed.
Dang!
You should all surrender. Nothing can defeat your own fears.
We didn't need to defeat them. We just needed to face them long enough to distract you.
It's cute that you think that'll do anything.
Ha Yeah, 40 Heart's kind of like a prodigal or something. So yeah.
You may have won the battle, but I shall win the war!
What war? That was different than we saw in the trailer.
We totally just wiped the castle with that guy.
Quickest villain defeat ever.
Thanks, Twilight.
She was gonna rip him a new one.
And easy.
As magical battles go, that was a cakewalk. Cakewalk.
Really? Moonwalk and Pinky,
Handled us
okay.
pretty well, on our own.
Does this mean?
I still don't feel like I'm 100% ready. But will I ever?
Knowing you, nope.
I have you guys, and we have the elements. And together, we've never failed. We'll be okay.
This is foreshadowing if there ever was any.
Once again, Equestria is safe.
What should we do to
3,
celebrate?
2,
I vote for
1.
cakewalk.
Problem.
What's going on?
I don't know.
It's not over. That. Yeah, he's not. Well, the other guy brought him back. Okay! Alright. And this guy's, what was his name? Grogar? Okay, Grogar, okay. I think I was going to call him Grabgar or Grabnar or something. Grobgar, okay, Grobgar. I will still get that wrong. Okay, first off, alright, now, first off, Twilight is put in charge of Equestria. What? Like, why? Okay, I don't mean this in a bad way. This is just, I find this whole thing with the princesses retiring to be just the most bizarre. I mean, I don't mean this in a bad way, and I'm not criticizing the writing here. It's just that this is the most out of the blue, suddenly thrust upon you, out of freaking nowhere. Like this is out of left field. This is out of right field. This is out of the infield. This is the most out of the blue thing that I can recall just happening in the show. The princesses just decide to retire. I mean, that's just so, like, WTF. Why? I mean, okay, I know they said that there's not, a lot left for them to do. Okay, there's a couple of ways that I can interpret this. Number one, the girls want some action, okay? So, like, here's a suggestion, alright? Here's a suggestion. There's going to be other villains. How about next time that there's a villain, you tell Twilight, hey Twilight, you know, step aside, let us handle it a bit. Or, here's an idea, get boyfriends. Okay, just get boyfriends. But it's kind of bizarre because they said before, in the episode where Luna and Celestia switched places to experience a walk in each other's horseshoes, they had a lot of other responsibilities to have to take care of there. So suddenly they're now like, we don't have much to do. Really? It seems like a bit of a contradiction, and like part of me can't help but think that just maybe they're playing Twilight. that they're not going to retire, but then I'm expecting that it will happen. So again, what the heck? The princesses has ruled over Equestria for like centuries now. I mean, they ruled before Luna's banishment, and now they've been ruling a few years after Luna's return. Why would they suddenly? I mean, really? I mean, I have to question. We don't know, like, how long the princesses have been around for. We don't know. But how, like, was there another ruler? Maybe their parents, maybe, before Luna and Celestia took over? How long ago was that? So, and how long have Luna and Celestia been in power? Do they, like, how will the residents of Ponyville be able to accept this? And like I said before, in my review for the trailer, Twilight is still, like, so young right now. And you're putting pressure on someone who's, like, in their early 20s to in charge of running basically like the entire United States here. So and they've not really done they haven't had any experience with doing things like that. Okay, maybe they defeated some bad guys or something, but now suddenly they're like, we want you to be the president of the United States. Say what? What? It's so sudden. It's just all, yeah. Okay. Now, secondly, it's interesting that all of Twilight's friends, like everyone, is totally mellow about it. They're totally calm. They're confident that they can handle this. And I have to admire, and I can understand both sides here. I can totally understand both sides. I can understand their side because being calm about it, because realistically speaking, the Twilight is going to be the ruler. You know, they're just going to be there kind of with her. I would kind of imagine that every one of them would have a role, maybe. Like, Rarity could be the royal designer, or the royal fashioneer, for, that's just a word I made up, for the kingdom. Rainbow would not be captain of she could probably be captain of Twilight's guards. Fluttershy could, like, take care of the animal, maybe an animal sanctuary there at the castle. Applejack could be in charge of catering. Pinkie could be in charge of morale, or, you know, making people laugh, something like that. But again, it just kind of seems like they are very mellow about it, and because they're confident, you know, they've had the experiences before, the things that they have learned, not just in their battles with other villains, but things that they've learned on their own and with their family and their other friends. And so they feel confident in that, and they're more mellow about it. They're more ready to take it on. And I can understand that they feel ready because of that. But I can also very much understand Twilight's shock and confusion, and her very deep concern about this whole thing, because this is Twilight Sparkle. She was a recluse in the beginning. She was a recluse. She was sent to Ponyville to learn about friendship, and she learned about friendship, and over the course of a few years, yeah, she matured and evolved. But remember, this is still putting pressure on someone very suddenly. And there's another bizarre matters about it, like the princesses retiring and stepping down. I don't know if Equestria has ever heard of anything like that. So now suddenly this is a thing? And you would think that it would take a kind of a decently long process for this thing to play out, but nope, they're like, just a few days, we'll get our stuff and we'll get out of your hair. And we're going to Las Pegasus, baby! Like, I can imagine Luna and Celestia quickly packing their bags, jumping in a convertible, and be like, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, and then they just tear off to, instead of Vegas, Pegas, and, or like, to Pegasus, like, Las Pegasus, and then you see them gambling at a casino, like, wearing, like, Hawaiian shirts, wearing sunglasses. That would be awesome to see, like, as a little extra scene. That would be great. But I just, like, just a few days, they've been in power for centuries, and now suddenly, it just takes a few days, we're gone. You know, we've already got our stuff packed. We weren't expecting you to accept it. We already got our stuff packed. And actually, we've already booked these flights to Sunny Shoals, to Sunny Shores, for a 2-week vacay. Yeah, like, what the heck? Just so sudden. Dang, they're like, we've been stuck in this castle, cooped up for years. I can see it, like, Luna, I can kind of imagine that, Celestia, like, I haven't had a date in centuries, do you know what that has done to me? And Luna is like, chill, sister, chill. Just chill the F out, alright? But, again, this is really sudden, and, yeah, I'm not certain right now if Twilight will become the ruler of Equestria, but I do think that it would be if that were the case, and I'm just going to go ahead and roll with it, just on the idea that it is going to be truthful, that Twilight is going to become the ruler of Equestria, and this is going to be the end of the show. Twilight will rule over, and it's an interesting thing because, you know, if you think back, I don't think ever, like, whenever we first started watching the show back years ago, we never imagined that this simple unicorn was going to become the leader, was going to become the ruler of an entire country. And whenever Twilight got her wings, I think there probably were jokes about Twilight taking over, like Luna and Celestia actually passing on or something, and Twilight taking over. So, okay, all of you that ever thought that, you predicted it, alright? You did. But it's just, yeah, this is just so sudden for this to happen, and it's very, very confusing. But again, it just, Twilighting out about it, panicking. I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all, because, what the heck? Seriously? But another thing as well, we have this new villain that is introduced, or at least I say introduced, because I've never seen this guy before. He looks like I know he's a ram. I know he's a ram, but he looks like, I'm sorry, just with the bell, with the collar, he looks like a reindeer. Like, he looks like a Santa's sleigh reject. I'm sorry, like, he looked like he was kicked out of the North Pole for being naughty. Maybe he stole some presents or something, and so he was just kicked out, okay? And yeah, I know there's a difference between a ram and a reindeer. But again, he just looks like a reindeer. He does. And that's what makes it funny to me. But this Grogar, yeah, Grogar. Was that right? Grobnar? I'm sorry. Everyone else in the show got his name wrong. So, yeah, it wasn't just them. It's me too, okay? Grogar. Okay, Grogar. Grogar. Okay. Grogar. Okay, I'm going to call him every wrong name that you can imagine. Grogar. Okay, Grogar. Anyway, also, I do really love how that Discord also had a pretty prominent presence in this episode as well. And it was funny that Discord decided, oh, well, maybe they'll let me take over. We already knew if Discord takes over, it's kind of going to be chaos and weirdness and such. So, yeah, I don't blame the princesses for not wanting Discord to do it. I mean, no disrespect to Discord. I love the goofy guy. But, yeah, there has to be a sense of balance and control that Discord isn't exactly going to have that. So, yeah, that's not really going to work. But, like I said, we were introduced to this Santa's reindeer wannabe. Like, this guy knocked off Rudolph. You know, he snubbed Rudolph to take his place. Wait a minute, I gotta do it. Grogar the blue-nosed ram had a very shiny color, and if you ever saw him, he would punch you in the face. Oh. But, okay, I have to wonder, like, was this guy... Okay, I'm not at all familiar with... I know some of the other villains, such as T-Rack, was featured in other iterations of MLP. I think he was the villain in, like, the first My Little Pony movie or something back in the 80s. But... Chrysalis, I don't know about, or if she's original to Friendship is Magic. And Sombra, I think, is original. But this Grogar guy, like, is he a new iteration of another one? Of a past villain, or is he just a new villain? That being said, the backstory. I mean, I like the design of the guy. You know, the old. He does have an interesting presence about him, and that's one of the things I think that I do like about him, is that he has the old wise man villain, and more often than not, I mean, it's not always the case, but sometimes the old wise man villain in stuff is more of an adversary than some newcomer, because this guy, he has experience, he's studied, and he's the wise person. So yeah, he understands. He knows why they were defeated, but I can already tell you he's going to get defeated here. So that he's not going to completely win, but he has been around for ages, since way even before T-Rack. But I think it's interesting that out of all these villains here, all of these villains except for Cozy Glow have magic. But Cozy Glow does not have magic. Why? And she's still wearing socks! Like she's... Oh no, that's her tail, I'm sorry. The screenshot made it like she had socks, I'm sorry. But Cozy Glow doesn't have magic. She's a basic little filly Pegasus. She's like a little girl. She doesn't have any magic. But the one thing that I have to say about her, she is... And I think that's probably why she was freed, is not because of any magic ability on her part, but because of her cunning and manipulative ways. She can easily talk a group into siding one way or the other, and so she's very, very cunning, and she's very, very manipulative. So yeah, I can understand why that they decided to free her. Is why he decided to free her. But Grogar, that was from Star vs. Forces of Evil. I'm sorry, Grogar. Sorry, Grogar was from Star vs. Forces of Evil. Sorry, Grogar. Grogar decides that everyone should kind of work together to defeat the villains. I mean, to defeat their adversaries. And one thing that I gotta say is King Sombra had more dialogue in this episode. Actually, to be honest, just in just a few minutes, King Sombra had more dialogue than he really ever did. Throughout the entirety of MLP, he had pretty much the only dialogue that he had in A Crystal Empire was crystals. Like, he made me think of Neo Cortex from, I think, Crash Bandicoot 2, or Crash Bandicoot 3, where Neo Cortex is like, crystals, and he wants Crash to gather the crystals. That's who Sombra reminded me of. But, oh great, I'd like to see artwork right now of Twilight as Coco Bandicoot, and Shining as Crash, and Sombra as Dr. Neo Cortex. That would be fun. But yeah, it's funny, but Sombra was honestly, he was the weakest villain that we have seen in the show, and there were many jokes and gags that people said about him after his defeat, after his reveal. you know, the build up to season 3 made you think that Sombra was going to be this big epic villain, and then he comes in, he just kind of looms over the Crystal Empire, doesn't do anything, and then he's easily defeated. And I remember like seeing posts from people saying manages to take over once before, gets easily defeated second time around, something like that. People made jokes about it, about his easy defeat, and so just Sombra was honestly the kind of the weakest and the most kind of hilarious villain defeat, and also the most disappointing villain that we have had because of how easy that he was to defeat, and just he didn't do anything as a villain. But it's fun that we've actually got him to come back this time. We've had more dialogue with him, and we've seen more of his personality. But I'm still curious. The one thing that still baffles me is originally his horn was blown away. His horn was blown off. And there was, I remember, again, I think a cousin showed me. I remember a cousin showing me back after the premiere of season 3, a cousin showed me, or he told me, that there was a tweet from someone that said King Sombra is dead. He's bucking dead. So he was dead. I don't know if you could say, if you could say clinically dead or just dead, like poof, poof, gone into oblivion. But was Grogar able to find his horn and reattach it? Because I see no surgical marks. Magic. But it's interesting because this is kind of funny. Again, this was a very fun episode. I did enjoy this episode, but there was also some crazy things that happened in this episode. Such as the fact that King Sombra just manages to come back into the Crystal Empire with no problem whatsoever, is able to defeat the guards. Like, King Sombra just waltzes into the Crystal Empire, he's able to defeat a few random guards, and then take control of their minds, and then he's able to just walk into the Crystal Empire and take over. Okay, here is something that I have to say. The Crystal Empire does not have a good defense system. They don't. Like, oh my freaking gosh. Okay, I know Shining and Cadence are powerful, and Flurry Heart is like a prodigy or something. She's just, I don't know what she is. I always thought at first whenever she was introduced, she was a convenient plot device for some sort of something in the future. But like, I know Shining and Cadence are powerful, but like, I just don't really understand how that King Sombra was able to just walk into the Crystal Empire. You would think that there would be guards stationed at the outskirts of the Crystal Empire keeping watch, just in case that something arises, And then King Sombra just walks in, takes over, just willy-nilly, lickety-split. Like, do you want some cake? And just defeats, like, takes over the Crystal Empire in just minutes. But the funny thing was King Sombra actually went for the one thing that could kind of weaken Cadence and Shining, which was their baby. So that was actually pretty genius on their part. I mean, that was actually pretty genius on his part. I saw this part in the trailer on TV where King Sombra takes over and he's like, "Long live the king," and he just relaxes on the throne. I did see this part right here in the promo on TV. But yeah, quickest villain defeat ever. Literally, he got defeated this time around even quicker than he did before. I'm just wondering if he'll, like, this was I thought maybe his not his redemption episode. I knew he wasn't going to get redeemed, but I mean, like, his chance to shine as a villain, and he got a bit more of a chance, and he did better this time. He actually did a little bit better this time. Maybe the third time will be the charm, and he'll actually be able to do something a little bit better. But already I can see that basically he's going to get full. I can already tell that this episode here with all these characters together is similar to what happened in one of the other MLP comics, where all of the villains were kind of gathered together and kind of tried to work together. I remember seeing that, and in one of the comics. So this is kind of similar to that, but this time around, unlike, I already know that what's going to happen this time. King Sombra is going to get defeated. The bad guy's going to get defeated, and King Sombra is, so this still, we can easily, the good news is we can still look at the comic where King Sombra was brought back by Radiant Hope. We can look at that and say, yeah, that right there is canon because she later redeems him. So yeah, that much is still canon, and I still believe it. But of course, we see the segment where the Tree of Harmony is destroyed by King Sombra, and all the ponies are just completely shocked by this. But I figured that King Sombra was going to return because he kind of made a deal with the devil, in a sense. Like, he pretty much made a deal with the devil. Like, I'm going to try it on my own. If I can't, then, yeah, you help me. I'll give you my soul just as long as you help me take over. That's pretty much, you know, like what he said here. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the second part. Obviously, they're going to try to... and I don't know if they can easily wrap it up because they got more villains this time around. And I don't see them doing a massive redemption, you know, with redeeming all the characters. I don't see them doing that in this episode. Because I don't really know what's going to happen in this, like in the second part. But yeah, this is actually a very interesting start to the new season, with villains returning, and now Twilight is put in charge of running an entire country. So yeah, this is definitely a very interesting start, and I'm very curious about what's going to happen and about what the villains are going to do, and what's going to happen in the future. I'm also, like, even beyond MLP, I'm also curious because, like, what's going to happen beyond MLP with Twilight running Equestria? This is going to be interesting. But there's a couple little things that I want to go over with this. Little gags and references in this. Is Pinky making the mention that running by everything... Pinky making the mention that running by everything that so fast that everything's blurry. Yeah, this is an animation technique. You know, it's an animation technique because legit, whenever you're running, things kind of seem to have a blur. It's a camera effect. You know, whenever you're moving, it's also a visual effect with your eyes. If you move your hand in front of your eye, you'll see like a blur, and it's a common thing. So it's funny that Pinky makes a reference to that particular thing. That's actually comical. And this segment, and I love this little bit where the princesses are like, there's nothing wrong. We just decided to make you think that everything was terrible, but there's nothing wrong. We're good. We're cool. And I love how Discord is first like, maybe I'm like, can I rule Equestria? And I love how Luna, and there's a very interesting thing here. And I love it. It's cute and it's sweet. You can tell that Luna, Celestia, and Discord are more on good terms now, because they're just very mellow with Discord's charm, and there's honestly a cute look here between Celestia and Discord here, as well as Luna and Discord. Like these girls, they know of Discord, and it's just more of like the scenario where someone who, well, a real life scenario would be someone who is kind of more, well, has Discord's personality in real life, says something and you just roll your eyes like, oh boy, here we go. Like, you know about their mannerisms, you know how they are, and so it's just kind of one of those things where it's comical, but it's just something you overlook anyway. And there's a very comical thing here where instead of either of the girls just saying something, they just, like Celestia just points a hoof like, nope. And I love this. It's a very charming and very cute little thing. It's tiny, but yeah, it's really well done. I love it. And this is probably this moment whenever Twilight gets shocked right here. Twilight.exe has stopped working. Like, this girl has a mental shutdown at this moment. in more, like, this was more of a shock for her than whenever she got wings. It really was. Here, she's just shocked beyond anything. And who can blame her? And I love this little part, there's a lot of cute dashiness in this episode. I love this cute little adorable segment with Rainbow wanting to be able to, Rainbow wants to be able to call the power to be able to go into Pony's dreams. Yeah, I imagine how she's going to abuse that. She's probably going to go to other Pony's dreams, kind of laugh, make fun. She's probably going to go to Daring Do's dreams and go on fun adventures with Daring Do. She's probably going to go to Soren's dreams and see if he's dreaming about her and make sure he is dreaming about her, and probably go to Spitfire's dreams and make Spitfire dream about Rainbow being captain of the Wonderbolts. So yeah, you don't want to give that girl any power. Like, you really don't give Rainbow the power to go into dreams. And of course we get that adorable segment where Pinky's like, classic Twilight, and Twilight's like, you made me a verb. I became a verb. Hey, Twilight, honestly, it's better than being a meme. Actually, though, being a meme is cool. And there's another segment here with Chrysalis where she's talking to a lump of wood, and her expression on her face, I said before, whenever she came back, I said that her sanity is slowly seeping away. She's becoming more and more on the crazy side. I think that her mentality is slipping. Her desire to get control again is she's beginning to go a little batcrap insane. Which I think is kind of hilarious. You know, she's becoming the insane villain. And I gotta say, like, this rock sculpture with that Cozy made, that honestly is actually good. Like, I don't know why Cozy can't, like, whenever she finally gets her out of her however long sentence to Tartarus, like, she could easily start up an eHoof account and just start making rock sculptures and selling them. And as part whenever Twilight finds the thing that she read, actually, okay, that's actually a cute face. She finds that thing that she wrote before, Twilight Derpy Face, to Starlight, and Starlight begins to have she pretends to have a panic attack about this. And her idea, and I have to commend her for her actions. Her plan is to try to make Twilight think that she's having a mental breakdown, but in actuality, she was really cool with it. But for Twilight, it didn't really help because she's like, yeah, running a school and running a country are two totally different things. Again, I have to agree with that. I really do have to agree with that. Two totally different things, two very big different things. Another thing that I wanted to mention is Cadence. The moment that they see their baby in danger, yeah, the shock on their face is, yeah, it's totally real. And then Cadence is ready to rip, like, she's ready to rip Sombra a new one. And yeah, you never mess with a young mother, or probably any mother, really. And the segment where Sombra makes the mention, I may have lost a battle, but I have not lost the war. Yeah, that was also foreshadowing, I believe, to what's coming up later on. And I also love this bit whenever Cadence comes back through the window, angry. Like, this girl is mad. Like, she is ready to destroy Sombra for endangering her family. But yeah, very interesting start to Season 9. Very interesting start to Season 9. I'm very curious as to what's going to happen in the following. I'm very curious as to what's going to happen in the following. Part 2. So yeah, very curious about that. I'm very, very excited to see what's going to happen. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comments as well, although you probably would just save those comments for the final. But again, any thoughts you want to have about midway between the two episodes, please feel free to do it in the comments. But again, to everybody, Hasbro DHX, again, thank you for 9 amazing, for 8, and now starting 9 years of great of amazing MLP. Thank you for 8 starting 9 amazing years. Thank you, Hasbro, DHX, everybody that has had a hand and a hoof and a claw and a paw involved with MLP. Thank you. And thank you all again for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care, and let's get ready to start part 2.